Okay. Yeah. So welcome to the quarterfinal round of the UK HealthCare Boys Basketball KHSAA Sweet 16 tournament. The winners of today's first quarterfinal game, the Bowling Green Purples. We have head coach DG Sherrill, student athletes Deuce Bailey, Caden Carpenter, and Luke Idlet. Coach, comments, please.
Well, I think we just saw, man, that's a good basketball team we just had to beat. We had to do everything we could possibly do. They had us down just about all of regulation. We got 1 point lead there late in the fourth quarter, and we're lucky enough to kind of pull that thing out late. But hats off to Ashland. Xander's as good a player as I've gone against live. I've done this a long, long time. He does so much to get his teammates involved. But I tell you what, the other kids on that team really played well today. They played fast. We don't run across a lot of teams that play as fast as we want to play. They played as fast as we wanted to play. It was just about game-winning plays in that fourth quarter and that overtime, just trying to get stops and rebounds and do all the little things that you can try to win games. We didn't shoot a great percentage from three either. They were red hot early. I'm like, when's it going to stop? They just seem like every time I turn around, they're banging another three on us. They're really hard to guard. So just really proud of these guys and the job they did today. Really proud of them.
Yeah, questions? Right here in front.
Kind of got into it there. That they had 10 threes, I think, through the first three quarters, and then you kept them from making them. I know some of it's legs. So kind of, was there anything different there though down the stretch you were doing?
I mean, we told our guys at halftime, 3 minutes, 4 minutes into this third quarter, we want their legs to be jelly. We want to, trying to guard all their action. Xander's he's a lot bigger than us. They got a couple of guys a little longer than us. So we don't want to guard all that action. I mean, when you start breaking down some of these good teams, they got 12, 15 things they run offensively. So we just want to try to disrupt their offense as much as possible by picking them up full and making them have to handle it end to end. And so we always feel like we can get into some legs late in the game. And we had to get into our legs today to get into it. So I thought they missed a couple of shots that in the first quarter, second quarter would have been, it wouldn't touch the rim. So we felt like we got that where we needed to. And then we had to get a couple of big rebounds. And then we mixed it up a little bit offensively where our personnel was at last play. We put Deuce in the slip spot because, as you see, going to the rim, he's going to score that bucket or get fouled. One through that. So making that little adjustment, we got the bucket we needed to give us that momentum to kind of finish this thing out.
Very back.
Luke, man, just kind of walk us through that steal and layup there that tied up there and at the end of regulation.
We were just kind of in like a run and gun situation down two. And I saw the trap. They were kind of loose with the ball, and I saw the ball come near, throwing it to Xander. And my first instincts were just go get the ball and go finish up the rim.
Question right here in the corner.
For the players, this game felt like if you guys ever got the lead, that it kind of changed things. Could you kind of sense that if you could get over that hump, that you were getting ready to go on one of those runs to maybe kind of put this thing away?
Yeah, 100%. We were all just trying to stay composed, stay together and not get shaken up by the lead they had. We just want to stay together, and then if we stay together, keep our composure, we can keep chipping back at the lead and get back on top.
For players, what was the message to you all at halftime? What was kind of the vibe in the locker room to go out and make that run to push it to overtime?
We were just telling each other the game's not over till the clock hit 0-0, even though we was down. We did have some little faces, but I was just telling my guys the game's not over till it hit 0-0. And then once we all locked in, when it hit 0-0, we got the great outcome.
DJ, it looked like your kids executed your game plan to perfection, but their coach pretty much did the same thing. Their kids pretty much did the same thing. Did you think kind of like what Michael asked about it, get one break, get a lead, a tie, something that you could turn it in your favor?
I mean, I don't want to, we're certainly not patting ourselves on the back, but I thought that the fans just got to watch a really good basketball game with both teams kind of executing offensively, both teams really getting after each other defensively. I will say this, I've been blessed to coach a long time. that's as good a bunch of guys that we just went against. They play hard. They play their game the right way. Their guys were, just a professional bunch, and hats off to them. It's a shame one of these teams had to lose, but I knew we played them early in the year, and I've known the Ashland guys for a long time, and they're a class act, but they brought a lot of stuff today that we had to guard. They brought a lot of action we had to guard, and we had to figure, you knew Xander was going to create all this stuff for his teammates, and, ghost screens, double stagger screens, all this action that they just do a really good job of. And they got us a few times early on that stuff, but we just we knew it was coming. But when you get a day to prepare, it's not like you have 2 or 3 days to prepare. And so they got us on some of it early, but our guys did a great job of adjusting. They stayed in the moment. We kept talking about we need 2, 3 stops here to get it over. They stayed in the moment, and I think that was critical on us kind of being able to finish that right there at the end of that fourth quarter, get that thing to overtime. Then overtime, I felt like you really saw their legs. Their shots were short. Their lift wasn't as much on the shots. They were shooting jumpers. We were loading the lane up, and the shots weren't falling. We were able to get some big offensive rebounds and then some transition opportunities.
Final question right here.
DG, you've had a lot of good teams up here. You've been up here a lot, but as we've talked this year, I mean, you've said you're undersized, maybe a little bit under the radar. What's it mean to get this team to the final day of this season?
I mean, walking in the locker room right here, and you can understand what it means. You've got 5 seniors that have been here and played together since they were 6th graders. They won every conference championship they played in, all the way from 6th grade all the way through. We had Joe in there this year, and Joe's been a great addition to our group. And then we got a bunch of young guys that really do a great job of helping us prepare and run our scout teams for us. This group right here, I mean, nobody picked them. I mean, all you media fellows had somebody else up here. And so that's fine with us. Don't pick us. We'll just keep fighting and clawing and scratching. I think you were one of them, actually. So anyway, just to call you out there. But anyway, long story short, our guys, they stayed in the fight and they stayed committed. They know their character, and you can't measure hard. You can't measure hard. And they didn't quit. And they haven't quit. It's been 3 weeks now. They just haven't quit because, gosh, guys, we've had like a month off between games. And so it's hard to keep focused. They just didn't quit. I think that shows their character and their heart.
Coach Sherrill, congratulations to you and the Bowling Green Purples. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. We have the Ashland Blazer Tomcats, head coach Ryan Bonner, student athletes Xander Carter, Tyson Lalonde, and Preston Hoskins. Coach, comments on this game, please.
First of all, just an absolute dogfight battle between 2 really good programs. And, that's the type of game that as a fan of basketball, I'm sure the folks want to see at Rupp Arena at the state tournament. That's what people pay for the admission for, to see something like that. Just from a game standpoint, 14 turnovers for us. That's very, very uncharacteristic of us. Credit to their defense for that. We haven't done that all year long. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would say that's probably the most turnovers we had in a single game all season long. So definitely a credit to them. Also struggled from the free throw line tonight as well. And free throws and turnovers are something that you don't want to be on the bad end of when you're playing in Rupp Arena. I know it sounds like I'm putting it all on them. There's a lot of things I probably could have done better in that game that I will certainly hold myself accountable to. But I'm just proud of the way that we fought. I'm proud of the way that we represented our community and our school. And these guys they do it the right way. And just very proud of our effort and our representation of our community.
Question from the media. Right here in the middle.
Coach, they had 48 points in the paint. Was there any thought of going zone on them at some point in this one?
Not when Luke Idlet, who's shooting 60% from 3, is on the floor. We didn't want him getting loose from 3. So we kind of sold out on taking away the 3 and trying to force tough 2s and holding them to 1 attempt. And that's what makes them so difficult to guard. We zoned them the first time that we played them. And they ended up beating us. And so we made the decision going into this game that we were going to try to sit in gaps and fight to keep the basketball out of the paint. But unfortunately, we didn't do a good enough job of that defensively. The one possession that we did play zone, it splashed a three, so we had to get out of it.
Right here.
Xander, they kept coming back, trying to find a way, and then they get it to overtime. Did you feel like they had the momentum, or did you I mean, no one scored for a while in the overtime, but if you could just take me through the overtime.
Yeah, I mean, those games are fun to be in, overtime games, and basketball is a game of runs, and I felt like just throughout this entire season, kind of credit to our guys that we can manage those runs, and we went up and they brought it back and we went into overtime, but I really feel like that's what the steps that the Lord ordered long before we were here. And so I'd be a fool to only praise Jesus in a win. And so I just want to start off by saying thank you to my Lord and Savior for having him as a coach and these guys and my brothers in my locker room as teammates. So just kind of to your question about the momentum thing, I don't really necessarily think it was a momentum thing. There's a few things that we could have done better offensively and defensively, but that's the game of basketball and that's the beauty. And you're not always going to win them all, but when you're walking in the will of the Lord, there's really nothing that can go wrong. So.
Hasn't had a great start, and they kind of what changed there? Was it really just making it really hard to get him the ball, or kind of what you kind of could have done maybe to help that a little bit?
Yeah, Tyson blew hot there in the first quarter, and Coach Sherrill's a really good coach, and he's going to adjust. And I think he made the adjustment to really pressure us, especially in the half court, and push our offense out. And it made it difficult to get Tyson the ball. He got a couple of looks, I think, in the second half, but didn't go down. But I mean, we were 10 of 27 from three. So that wasn't the issue. Was our threes. Again, I kind of go back to the 14 turnovers, and again, credit to their staff and their team. They're not a big team, but they're still very physical and they're very athletic. And I think that's why they turn people over like they do. But the turnovers and the free throws definitely, I think, is what really hurt us in today's game.
Final questions. Got two, one in the back and then one here on the corner. Be my final two.
Hey, guys, it might be too early and too raw right now, but can you reflect on a team and a program that comes here 7 straight years? That's quite unusual, but it's a testament to the program that you have here, and reflect on getting back. And then I'm sure come tomorrow, who's coming back next year is going to work hard to get back here for number 8.
Yeah. So, the expectation for us is we want Saturday morning. And we're going to fight like crazy to get there. I love what we have coming back, but I'm also very saddened with what's leaving, obviously. But the mission is not going to change, and the vision's not going to change. We're fighting to get to Saturday morning. Very grateful that we've been fortunate enough to get here 7 consecutive times. That mission's not going to change either, but that's also a credit to these guys right here. So I don't know if one of you guys want to follow up on that.
It was an amazing season, and kind of an appreciation and credit moment for Coach and the coaches before him. I felt like each and every day, our culture with our daily habits, what we do every single day is we're preparing for March, and we're preparing for really anything that comes our way. And no matter what it is, even in practice or games, especially early season, we're not afraid to, play the good team or play the team that everybody thinks is better than us or ranked higher, because, there's a lot of games that happen now, this time of the year that really matter to us. And so a huge credit to Coach and the guys in the locker room willing to sacrifice and really go through some adverse moments. But as far as the 7 in a row, I really think it's just a major blessing. And, I don't think it's ever been done before, 7 in a row. And I know that everybody in that locker room back there, us 3 are gone next year, but I know those guys are going to work just as hard to get back here and make it 8.
Final question right here.
Coach, you mentioned their size and how they can overcome that to a degree. Deuce Bailey's kind of been on a mission since fourth region. Could you just talk a little bit about what he can do to offset that a little bit?
Because they play extremely hard, and because they're so athletic, they can stick to the ball in space without giving up straight line drives, and I think that's what creates so many turnovers for them. I know I believe Deuce Bailey's a football player, if I'm not mistaken, a very talented one too. So he brings that football physicality to the table, and you know, we had I think we had 3 guys last year that were football players in our starting lineup, and it creates that physicality and that toughness that you need. Yeah, their athleticism, like I said, allows them to really pressure in space without getting beat. And on top of that, I think it's a mentality that Coach Sherrill has created in that locker room of toughness.
Coach Bonner, congratulations to you and the Ashland Blazer Tomcats on a great season. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.